Welcome to All in Adams, the official podcast of Adams County government, where we're all in for our residents, our employees, and our community. So whether you live here, work here, or you just want to know more about what makes Adams County a great place to be, thanks for tuning in. We're all in, Adams. Hello and welcome to the very first podcast of All in Adams, where we are all in for you, in our community, our employees, our residents. We are so excited to be here. My name is Nikki Kimbleton. I am the Director of Communications for Adams County. And our very first guest, making history today, is the Chair of our Board of County Commissioners, Lynn Baca. Great to have you.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
We're excited. We're making history, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Not only that, one thing I wanted to bring up, it is Women's History Month. And you're making history along with three other colleagues as the four women out of five on our Board of County Commissioners. That's exciting.
It is exciting. So first time in history in Adams that we have four women serving as Board of County Commissioners or County Commissioners. And then we have Steve O'Dorisio as well as serving in his final term. Can't forget Steve. He's great.
He's coming up on a later podcast too, so you're going to get to know him. So we're going to ask you today some serious questions, just some about your background, some about your vision for Adams County, the exciting things that are happening, the great things that we have to offer our community. But then we're going to go to kind of a lightning round and have a little bit of fun so people can get to know you just a little bit better and just some fun things that you prefer and just stuff about the county. So
fantastic.
Thank you for being our first official guest. We're super excited. All right. So first question's pretty easy one. Just tell us a little bit about you and your background.
So my background is I grew up in Adams County. So I grew up in the county seat, which is Brighton, Colorado. I still live there, went to Brighton 27J schools, and it really was the community that shaped me. So growing up, I saw elected officials, county elected officials, city council members, they're regular citizens in community. I see them at the grocery store, at restaurants, and I actually started, one of my first jobs was here at Adams County. I started as an elections clerk. So I really got to know the elected officials, and I was like, these people are just normal. Mm-hmm. They're not someone on high, and they represent us. And that really inspired me, like, I can do this. But it was later, much later on in life, 30 years later, where I got my inspiration. So I'm an ovarian cancer survivor, and that really inspired me to run for office. So while I was on treatment, extended treatment, chemotherapy, I started volunteering in my community, and I became a community volunteer, and I was active in the Brighton community, served on their Parks and Rec board, and I got recognized by the mayor pro tem, and he encouraged me to run for city council, and I've never looked back, and that was like 12 years ago.
And that's fantastic, and that's a long time to give to public service. But we're happy that you do, and thanks for sharing a little bit about. My next question was going to be about your passion and your inspiration, but thank you for sharing about that. One thing I want to just go back to is, that, and I've heard you talk about, you were an employee here at Adams County, and I think that gives you such a unique perspective to the needs of our employees.
It does, and really gives me a unique perspective to the citizens. Yes. I think more than anything is that I, as an employee, got to see and serve our citizens. I worked in elections. I did a little bit of time working in the motor vehicle department. Mm-hmm. And I know people say, if you're frustrated, just leave your county, and that's not it. So it really, for me, was about delivering customer service at a very young age, working as an employee, is that we are service-oriented. That's been my mantra. I've been in public service now for 30 years, working for equally county as an employee and also working in a city as an employee. So it's really that service component and how do we serve the public that really gets me.
And I love that. And it's great to see that you've continued that into your career as an elected official and a public servant. What would you say are some of the things that really inspire you and that you're passionate about that we provide to the community, that we provide to those citizens?
Love this question. So my background, my grandpa was a vegetable farmer right here in Adams County. And who knew that life would come full circle? And so one of my biggest passions is open space, preservation of farmland. We cannot save all the farmland and all the open space, but it really brings me a lot of joy that these are legacy projects, that generations of Adams County residents and our kiddos will still have open space, farmland, trails to to go out and enjoy, to recreate and, go for a bike ride or go walk around the lake at the Adams County Regional Park. Those are things that I'm really passionate about. And it started as, a young girl with my sisters and my brother of playing at my grandpa's farm.
Mm-hmm.
And we would race sticks down the irrigation canals, and we would go play in the crate yard and on the hay bales. And so I want our future residents, especially our kids, to have that open space and to have space where they can play and feel safe and comfortable in.
One of the questions I was going to ask you is there a specific story or time that you can think back to that really made that shift for you, that has made you into who you are today? Is that it? Is that the story?
That is the story. Really is my grandfather's story of being an immigrant from the Philippine Islands and really living the American dream of being a business owner and a landowner and a property owner, raising my mom and her siblings here in Adams County and all of my cousins that we grew up in Adams County. And that really is the passion and the drive of, I didn't know, many decades later, I would be advocating for farmland preservation and open space. And that really started a lot of it and we're changing. We're one of the top 5 fastest growing counties in Colorado. And so we knew this once DIA, who's celebrating their 30th anniversary, we knew that economic development and more residents would come to Adams County. So that really fit in well with my passion for farmland preservation and open space and recreation.
Okay, so that segues really well into the next question. So we are the fastest. We are growing incredibly fast. Lots of people moving to our area. We're seeing lots of development. What are some of the things that you want to share with folks that that might be new to the area, as far as some of the hidden gems, the best places to experience in Adams County?
Places to experience.
And that said, like I mean, our parks, obviously. I mean, we have an amazing series of parks. But whether it's restaurants, is there anything that you would suggest if you could tell somebody how to spend the day? What would you tell them?
Oh, so quintessential to Adams County is definitely in the summers to go to the farm stands.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They're local,
Yep.
Local farmers, local producers. So there's plenty of them in Brighton. There's 2 or 3 that I go to regularly. And then craft brewing really took off.
Yeah.
Here in
that's true.
Adams County, probably across the nation. Prost is one of the we did an economic development proposal along with North Glen, and Prost moved out of Denver and their production is in North Glen. So there's lots of craft brewers also in Brighton. So I think enjoy the outdoors. I think that's why people come here. And so enjoy, the food and maybe a beer on the patio. Enjoy the open space. I'm always really curious and ask, people why Colorado and why Brighton or why Adams County? And I think it really was 2020 where people were like, you only live once and I'm moving. And they moved here without a job or an apartment. And so it's really fascinating to hear their stories. And I think people are attracted to Colorado and Adams County really for the open space and the beautiful weather.
And I love how that answer was like really well-rounded. You're basically like, eat your vegetables, but also go have a beer.
Have a beer. Go enjoy the sunshine.
But also get your vegetables.
Yeah.
So another question I want to ask you, is there any piece of advice that you've ever received that you think has really kept you on track or initiated that track?
Yeah. So working in government, I was in purchasing, and I remember when I was nominated, and I won the election as chair of a government association, and someone pulled me aside, and their advice to me was lead, follow, or get out of the way. And so, different times in your life, whether it's personal or professional, it's like I always try to check myself of what is my role here? Am I leading? Do I need to encourage others to also lead and to step up? I have a really good friend that asked me to serve in transportation. And I really appreciate those little tidbits. Her name is Karen, of seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself to really get into leadership on different boards and associations in the community.
Yeah, well, we're very fortunate to have you, and
Thank you. Love it.
Yeah, it's also, I have to tell you, from just being able to attend, public hearings with you, it's really wonderful to see the way that you connect with not just our employees, but with everybody in our area, all residents as well. Yeah, it's definitely an honor to have you here and to serve as chair. And that brings me to my last really serious question. Then we'll get into some fun ones.
Okay.
What is your vision for the next 4 to 5 years for this board and what we're bringing to Adams County?
We have so much going on in Adams County, and to watch it from the time I grew up till now and being part of community, we have one of the youngest counties. I think our average age here in Adams County is like 37. So when I go out and meet with schools and I meet with students, we are going to be the workforce for Colorado. We'll come from Adams County. We have some exciting things happening at the Colorado Air and Spaceport. We put a lot of investment there. We have a international partner that's going to come in alongside of us. It's Altitude X. So really looking forward to suborbital travel and the research and development that goes into that. The economic development that's going to happen on the eastern side of Adams County is really exciting to me. And we have all of the interstates here in Adams County.
Bringing everything together.
When I'm out in community, I hear people, they're like, we want a Whole Foods, and why do I have a warehouse? It's because we have all the interstates. We're a logistical hub. So all the interstates are here. We have all of the railroads are also in Adams County. So it really makes us a hub for commerce. And I think you see that with Amazon and the growth of, home shopping, and that will continue. But I think what will really continue is we'll continue to see a lot of growth in Adams. And we're really at the cusp of influencing on how do we look at building networks differently, building relationships with business, with our schools, with our unions. What does workforce development look like? How can we keep everyone connected and moving forward? So there's a lot going on in Adams County, and it's such an exciting time to be here.
It really is an exciting time. They say when you're in a downtown, it's cranes in the air. But when you're in more of a suburb, it's construction projects on every corner. And you're seeing it. I mean, it's fantastic. Everything from the chicken and pickle to the
Chicken and pickle in Thornton, yes.
To the Target distribution center. Yeah. I mean, it's really exciting to see that.
We have earth movers out here.
Yes,
so we don't have the cranes in the air. We have earth movers. Yes.
I love that. Okay, so some fun questions.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one, if your life had a theme song, what would it be and why?
Life had a theme song. That's a really good question. I Will Survive comes to mind.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good karaoke song,
I think the best advice is, I think a lesson that could be taught and learned early is that you get knocked down 10 times and you get up 11. It's been, that's what I love about Adams County and our community is that we have a lot of grit of getting things done and continuing, no matter how many times you get knocked down.
I love it. Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah.
Yep. It's, again, one of the best karaoke songs you
It
could ever
is,
do
I
because you
know.
can really get behind it. I love it. Okay, if you could have dinner with any historical figure or famous person, whether it's someone who is with us or, came before us, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's really interesting. I'm not going to go political. I think still a current person, I'd like to sit down with Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
So many interviews, so much experience, and, just watching her when I grew up of not just her story, but things that she's learned. She's also can be a little controversial as of recent, but I just think what was her path and what advice would she give someone that was coming up, whether it's in communications or how do you put your best foot forward? Or she had so many experiences being in her show with so many wonderful guests and historical figures.
Her story is a fascinating one with so many different levels and layers. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so another one would be, let's see. What's one thing on your bucket list that you have not done yet?
One thing on my bucket list, travel to Europe.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's what's on my bucket list. Run a 5K.
Ooh, Foster K 5K.
I know, it's coming up. It's too soon.
Well, no. I have something for you. So one of our next podcasts, just to give you guys who are listening and watching a little preview, we're going to do from the couch to the course in 30 days. So we're gonna have a trainer come on and tell us how to go from the couch to the course in 30 days in order to train for that 5K. We're also going to have a foster family come on as well, so they can talk about our wonderful program that we have at our Human Services Center to encourage that and also to encourage participation. But we're just trying to make sure that nobody has an excuse. I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you.
Yeah, I was saying we need to start a Team Adams County and do the
We
Couch to 5K.
We should do the because I am literally couch to 5K
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, I am. Okay, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to share with the folks who are listening and watching?
No, I really appreciate this time, a new way to communicate with residents. This is the new thing, and just really excited about Adams County. There's a lot of people in the room to support a podcast, and thank you so much, Nikki. Really appreciate it.
Oh, one more thing I didn't ask,
Yeah.
which I think is a great question. Are you binge watching anything right now, or like what's your like favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show, really nerdy. So one is The Voice that I do for entertainment.
Love The Voice.
The other one is Finding Your Roots with I can't remember the gentleman's name, and I'm marking my age here because it's PBS.
Yeah.
And when my parents used to watch PBS when I was young, I was like, wow, they're really old. But it's a historic journey about, different figureheads or different actors, actresses.
I'm probably older than you. I've seen it.
Finding Your Roots. Yeah,
it's great.
So that's just a fun entertainment, but really The Voice.
Do you have a favorite judge?
Oh, I think Kelsey is killing it this year.
Yeah. So if you were singing and they all turned around, which team would you go on?
Oh, that's a hard one. I'd be between probably John and Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. John Legend, right?
John Legend.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Just making sure because the cast has changed. Okay.
cast
So great.
I followed the cast for over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been great. Thank you so much for sharing the fun, just the fun facts,
Yeah.
and also your vision for what's in the future. We really appreciate all the work you do.
Thank you so much. Please have me back.
Oh, we will. And
Okay.
we've got many more podcasts coming for you, so stay tuned. That's a wrap for this episode of All in Adams. Thank you for joining us as we explore the people, programs, and the policies that make Adams County a great place to live, work, and thrive. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends, neighbors, and colleagues. Have a topic you'd like us to cover? Let us know. We're all in for bringing you the stories that matter most. Until next time, take care of each other and stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, and X. We're all in Adams, and we're all in for you.